beauty standards and body image expectations are relentlessly portrayed through media and social narratives. People may feel insecure about their weight, height, skin, hair, features, comparing themselves unfavorably to others, and internalizing the message that they don't measure up to an ideal. In a society that often equates physical appearance with value, these insecurities can deeply impact self-esteem. Another form of insecurity stems from social and relational fears. These insecurities revolve around the fear of being rejected, judged, or not belonging. Many people feel anxious about how they are perceived by others, worried that they're not likable, interesting, or good enough to form meaningful relationships. These social insecurities can lead to feelings of isolation and disconnection, as individuals may withdraw from social interactions out of fear of rejection or embarrassment. Then there are professional and intellectual insecurities, which manifest in feelings of inadequacy in one's abilities or accomplishments. People may doubt their competence at work, struggle with imposter syndrome, or feel inferior when comparing their career achievements to those of their peers. This type of insecurity often plagues high achievers who, despite their outward success, grapple with an internal sense that they're not truly capable or deserving. Self-worth insecurities, too, are at the heart of many struggles. These go beyond specific doubts about one's appearance or abilities and touch the core of an individual's identity. People with self-worth insecurities often feel that they're not deserving of love, success, or happiness. They may feel fundamentally flawed or unworthy, which can lead to self-sabotaging behaviors or a constant need for external validation. Though these insecurities come in different forms, they all have one thing in common. They're rooted in fear. Fear of not being enough, of being judged, rejected, or even abandoned. The question becomes then, how do we overcome these deeply ingrained fears? The answer isn't simple, but it begins with acknowledgement. One of the most important steps in overcoming insecurities is acknowledging their existence. Many people try to ignore or deny their insecurities, perhaps out of shame or because facing them seems too painful. But to heal, you need to confront. Acknowledgement is an act of courage. It's saying to yourself, yes, I feel insecure about this aspect of myself, and it's affecting me. By admitting the presence of insecurity, we strip it of its power to control us from the shadows. We stop letting it undermine our confidence and self-worth in subtle, hidden ways, and bring it out into the open where it can be dealt with constructively. The next step in overcoming insecurities is reframing your mindset. Insecurities are often born from negative self-talk and distorted perceptions. For instance, a person who's insecure about their abilities may tell themselves that they're incompetent or inadequate, despite evidence to the contrary. To challenge insecurities, we need to actively engage in reframing these negative thoughts. This means recognizing when we're being overly critical of ourselves and consciously shifting toward a more balanced and compassionate perspective. Reframing isn't about ignoring insecurities or pretending they don't exist. It's about changing the way Many insecurities are fueled by harsh self-criticism and the belief that we're somehow not worthy of kindness, whether from ourselves or others. Practicing self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you'd offer a loved one. It's recognizing that being human means being imperfect and that we all experience moments of doubt, fear, and insecurity. When we're compassionate toward ourselves, we create a mental space where insecurities can be acknowledged without judgment. Instead of berating ourselves for feeling insecure, we can gently explore why those feelings are there and what we might need in order to heal. Self-compassion also encourages patience. It takes time to undo patterns of insecurity that have been reinforced over years, if not decades. By giving ourselves the grace to grow at our own pace, we foster resilience and self-acceptance. Another powerful tool in overcoming insecurities is utilizing community support. While insecurities can make us feel isolated and alone, the truth is that they're a shared human experience. By reaching out to trusted friends, family, or mentors, we can find the reassurance and encouragement we need to confront our fears. Often, the simple act of sharing our insecurities with others helps us realize that we aren't alone in our struggles. But those around us may offer perspective, advice, or simply a listening ear that reminds us that we're valued and supported. Community support isn't just about receiving validation from others, though that can be important. It's also about surrounding ourselves with people who lift us up and challenge us to grow. Positive relationships can counteract the negative self-beliefs that fuel insecurities, providing us with a mirror that reflects our worth and potential. In many cases, the love and support we receive from others helps us build the internal confidence to eventually overcome those insecurities on our own. Beyond seeking support from others, overcoming insecurities requires taking action. Insecurities thrive on inaction. They feed off of avoidance and fear. When we avoid situations that trigger our insecurities, we allow those fears to grow stronger. Conversely, when we take action in the face of insecurity, we gradually reduce its power over us. Taking action might look different for each person depending on the nature of their insecurity. For someone who feels socially insecure, it might mean attending more social gatherings and practicing being vulnerable with others. For someone insecure about their abilities at work, it might involve pursuing further training or taking on new challenges to build confidence. The key is to recognize that action leads to growth, and that growth leads to reduced insecurity. By consistently putting ourselves in situations that challenge our insecurities, we begin to prove to ourselves that we're capable. Each small step we take, whether it's giving a presentation, starting a conversation, or applying for a new job, serves as evidence that our insecurities don't define us. Over time, as we accumulate experiences that contradict our fears, those insecurities begin to lose their grip. In the process of overcoming insecurities, setbacks are inevitable. Remember that. There will be moments when doubt creeps back in, when old patterns resurface, or when the fear of not being enough feels overwhelming. It's important to remember process. Progress is often 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The important thing is to remain committed to the journey, knowing that each setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Insecurity at its core is the fear of not measuring up, whether to external standards, the expectations of others, or our own internal ideals. But the truth is, we're all imperfect beings navigating a complex world, and the measure of our worth is not defined by any single attribute, accomplishment, or flaw. By acknowledging our insecurities, reframing our thoughts, practicing self-compassion, seeking support, and taking action, we can transform